ladies, you all look happy. No.
Yeah.
Oh
My
my
favorite
goodness,
time of the
no.
day.
Right, right. It's Sunday, about to start a new week. But how was y'all week? How was the week?
Well, hi from Cole, Michigan. Last time we were all together in Texas, even though it wasn't giving us Texas weather. So now
No,
we're
it's
back.
not.
I don't even know if the temperature is like 20 degrees or something with snow. I know you
Yeah,
guys got hit in Texas. What's the
yeah.
weather like right
It's
now?
like 80.
Ugh.
It's nice. It's really nice. Like,
Waited till we left, huh?
yeah, the sun was kissing my skin. That's all the melanin was
All
like.
right.
I was like, we were on a nice walk. It was just
Thank you for
like,
that. We can see it coming through the windows.
yes,
Take
like
it.
I was like, this is nice. I'm sorry, it's 20 degrees, y'all.
It's literally like pitch black here, and I'm looking at the sunlight. We're only an hour
Snow
ahead.
outside.
See that?
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. But
Um,
outside
what's
of
the
the
you
weather,
guys?
how was y'all week? How things going?
My week has been pretty busy. I had the baby this weekend. This week. So with work, just jumping back in from coming from Texas, it felt like I went 1,000 miles per hour. So a super busy week. That's why today is a good day to just sit back and talk about it.
I
Girl,
think you should clarify. It sounds like you said I
we
had a baby this week. I'm
had a
like,
baby
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
no.
Well, it's a bit busy
We
week.
had a different conversation, right? So I babysit, or yeah, I would say babysit my little cousin 2 nights out of the week, and yeah, having a newborn again it's interesting. It's a lot of work. My youngest is 10, so doing that all over again is, yeah, it's kind of draining, but I wouldn't trade it.
So
I was like, wait, hold on. My week has been crazy. I feel like I am in go mode since we got back from Texas. When I was in Texas, listen, you guys saw me. I was like enjoying sleeping in, no getting up at 6, 7 in the morning. I was like knocked out on an air mattress. But
mm,
that's
tomato
okay.
sauce.
I appreciate your
The
hospitality.
hospitality.
Meek let us stay at her beautiful home in Texas, newly built, so we appreciated that. But no,
For sure.
I've been on go mode since I got back, like work back to back. I have a million jobs, so I think that brings us into our topic though for tonight.
It
Meek.
does. It does. We're actually we talking about why do we feel that we need to stay busy? Like, why are we so hyper independent? Why are we just always filling our life with just stuff, right? And it's not just like, even just hearing what y'all was just talking about, like, it's not like we're filling our life with things that we want to do, right? It's not like we're reading a book or we're going like to do a hobby or something. Like, it's work, it's like obligations, it's family. It's like, when do we have time to breathe? So yes, minus the blueprint, we'll be discussing why do we feel we need to be hyper independent and just stay busy.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we start with all. Sorry, Shay. Just
Oh,
maybe starting like with all that we do, right? Like, well, we all know we're all mothers. So for me, I'm a mom. Um, I have a private practice. I also work for the state of Michigan. I'm a licensed foster parent. I think I talked about this in the first episode. I train foster parents and I work at crisis centers. I have tons of contracts, right? Like I'm here trying to, I want to say hustle because I feel like I'm at a comfortable place in my life, but for some reason I'm always like, ooh, let me apply for this. Like, girl, sit down. So that's everything I'm doing. Before we go into the meat of stuff, what about you, Shay? What do you have going on in your life?
well, I'm an accountant at a startup, which takes about, it's not a normal 40-hour week, probably working more so 60 hours or more just because of the grind of the job. Helping my cousin out, my younger cousin is, my older cousin is fostering her niece and trying to unload that burden just a little bit. So I stepped up to help out. And, I also have my accounting business. So it's tax season. So everything is just taking off 1,000 miles per hour right now. And the kids. So just something is always going on.
You gotta show your cup.
Oh, yeah. Dope black accountant. Shout out to my friend for making this for me.
I love it. I love it. No, I think, yeah, same. I'm a mom, and I think my kids' schedules, like, I'm a mom, but with that, like, my son is in karate, and then my daughter, she does competitive dancing. So it's dance season. So like outside of like her practices, like we're gone once a month for the next like 5 months to like compete for like 3 days. And then like I'm a senior legal investigation manager. So like same like you were talking about, Shane, like it's 40 hours, but like, always busy. Like my team is pretty big. So like just always on the go, making sure they're fine. And then I also do contract work as a supervisor for MSW students. So like I'm also like doing contract work and providing support for MSW students during their practicum. So I'm doing learning plans. I'm meeting with their field instructors, making sure they're good till they graduate. And then I do emergency work too. So I do EDR. So basically I respond to law enforcement for after hour emergency requests. So like if there's like a murder or something like 3 a.m., like I'm on call to do that. So we are busy with some really like life stuff too. That's what I'm saying.
I think after all that, we all just have to take like a collective deep breath, because that's like
Yes, like a yes.
that's like over, like everyone just saying their stuff is over like 80 hours a week. Like I'm
Mhm.
sitting here counting like that's a lot.
Exactly. And I feel like when do we breathe, right? Like outside of like sleep, it's like we go to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And it's just like, I know for me, being still is not a comfortable thing for me yet. Like I haven't got to a place where, okay, it's nothing to do. This feels good. Like I haven't got there yet. I'm always thinking, like you said, friend, like you're always like, what can I apply for next? I'm looking like, what can I do next? Right? What can I put the kids in next? Like it's never just like, let me just sit down and binge watch something. Like I don't have like, ooh, it's 6 o'clock, it's time for my show. It's like I'm just always go, go, go. It's just like it's not comfortable. I don't know. It's just it don't feel normal to sit still.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think I think I've came a long way. Previously, I probably would have, I think would have been a professional student, to be honest with you. After getting the MBA, I went straight into the CPA. After the CPA, my therapist was like, "Okay, you're done," because I was also looking like, "Okay, how do I become a certified financial planner?" Which I'm still gonna do. I'm still gonna do. It helps my business, but I'm not jumping right into it. I'm taking the time to actually feel a little bit. I think for me, I was placing all these things to not feel, to not have to deal with the things that were going on in my life because, hey, I can't deal with that. I'm busy, which is a valid excuse. So when you remove all the distractions, and I'm not saying that, hey, going for your degrees is a bad thing, but at the point that you're kind of self-sacrificing growth in certain areas, right?
Yeah.
That's where it kind of become like, okay, you're using this as a distraction. And yes, you're benefiting from it from a professional standpoint, but you're not dealing with things on a personal level. So I feel where you're coming from of saying, hey, that doesn't feel comfortable because it feel like you should be doing something because you've been going 1,000 miles per hour your whole life. So it doesn't feel good to be still. It doesn't feel good to relax.
I
Yeah.
guess friend.
Go ahead.
No, but I guess my question is though, why don't we invest this time in personal stuff that we like? Like I always say that like we put all this time in like professional growth. Like why haven't we sat down and just like, you know what? I want to put all this time in like learning how to play tennis, right? Like instead of like picking up another job, like I want to learn how to play tennis or I want to like, I don't know, learn how to knit a blanket. It's like everything that we do, as we call it, distractions or keeping us busy, is all tied to professional. It's all tied to like growth or how we can be better educated Black women when we're already there. Like we've already crossed the finish line. So like, go knit. No, we ain't gonna knit. We're gonna go to law school. Why?
Yep.
I don't know.
That's a great idea. It's still on the fence too. I don't know. I don't know.
I will say though, to kind of sidetrack from your question, but we'll get back to it. I think one thing that we all three have done, which I think we should be proud of ourselves, is now like we're all consistently in the gym. So we're like taking care of our physical health. We all have a therapist. So those are some things that we've kind of like can be like, okay, yay. But going back to Nick's question, I don't know. I know for me, my blueprint was my mom, right? Like her and my dad were never married. And then she was a single mother for a long time. And so I always, saw her working hard. I think I mentioned it in the first episode. We were in a shelter for a little while. And her life lesson to me was always don't depend on a man. And so like that is ingrained in me. Like I never want to be in a relationship where a man can take stuff from me. And that when he leave, like when we are done, that I'm literally like with my hand out, like help me, right? So I've always strived to be able to bring whatever, bring myself to the table, bring finances to the table, and I can be good with or without you. And that's not a stab at being in a relationship, but it's just like, that's how I felt. And so then my mom got she got married, and then she was with like her husband who did take care of her and stuff. And she still was like that way. Right. So for me, that's why it's like, I can't get out of the mindset of like, let me just like relax. Cause it's like, no, keep going. You have more to do. Keep going. You have a 15-year-old who graduates in 2 years and you have these goals set up for him. Keep going. Like, you don't own a private island yet. Keep going, girl. So that's where my mindset is. It's not healthy, but that's kind of like to give you like an origin story of like why my behaviors are like that. So far, I haven't dug too deep into it with my therapist yet, but that's where I'm at right now.
I agree, friend. I think that's probably my origin story as well. Not the same, but it comes from my youth. It's come from, sleeping in cars. It comes from that feeling of being hungry and not having any resources to feed myself. Having children, having to provide. I think it's always running from that. So it feels like you have to go hard because one wrong step and I'm gonna be right back there, regardless of the reality. I think that keeps me going. But I am working with my therapist because she was like, it's not life or death. It's okay. And really honing in to feel that it takes a lot to be like, you know what, you're right. I am going to be okay because I still see what it's like to not go as hard. And I think the other part is it's easier to pour into your professional life when you are succeeding, but in your personal life when you feel like you're failing. So if I block all that out because I'm not doing as great there, I'm going to put all my resources into a place that I am excelling in, and I'm going to keep going hard at that place because that's where I feel good in. That's where I'm getting gratified in. So when this start failing, now I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So that's my why.
It's crazy you said that because like that's literally for me. I think one thing is the fact that like for the longest, because me and my therapist talked about this too, is for the longest I was still always just saw myself as a teen mom. Like even as grown professional, like I was just always stuck in that mindset. So that mindset was always, I got to do what I got to do for my kids because I got myself in a situation and they're not going to grow up like me. Like, and I carry that with me through my life. So like that's for me why I put so much in my professional life. And then also when you made that comment in regards to like your personal life, my personal life always been on fire. So it's like, let me step over that fire and go over here. This I can control. Like I can control like if I'm going to go to school, the school I'm going to go to, I can control my degree. I can control like navigating these different career paths. Like it's dope. Went from social work to therapist, now I work in tech. Like I can navigate those things. But this relationship over here, can't navigate it. So let me go back over here. So it's like it was just easier and safer for me to navigate my professional life because I knew who I was. I spent so much time and energy building that identity that I didn't have an identity over here. Like I didn't know who I was. So it's like it just seemed like it was more work to build who I was supposed to be personally versus just saying, hey, this is who I am professionally.
I agree with that. That actually just touched me because that's exactly what it is. It's like your personal life is on fire. So it's like, I can turn a blind eye to that because I can focus on the things that I'm succeeding in. I can focus on the things that make me feel well and make me, is different than my personal life. I'm like a rock star in my professional life. And it's like, yeah, this is where I want to be because I feel good. But the reality is you neglecting the growth of your personal life. Like you said, how will you know if we like knitting or not? We're not even giving it time because we focus on this.
Exactly. And I don't know. I think like friend, I really like that you brought up like, yeah, we're in the gym, like we have therapists. Like I feel like we're trying to figure out who we are on a personal level, but they're just still parts of like that hyper independence that we just hold on to. And I think you made a good point from when you're talking about your mom and how like she installed those in you and like that's how you operate. Like we still operate on a path of just like we gotta make this happen. Ain't nobody gonna make it happen for us. Even if they say they do, I don't really trust that 100%. I hear you got me, but do you got me? Don't worry about it. I got myself. So we still think like that in the back of our mind. So it's like we don't allow people to help us.
say, oh no, not the earring. I'll say, I also, and I'm taking off like my therapist hat, right? So this is not the therapist side of me talking. I'm also kind of okay with hyper independence right now. Like I'm okay with being busy only, again, well, going back to what you guys are saying, because it is a distraction in some part, but it's also like, because it is like I'm proving to myself that I've made it in a sense, right? Like that I've created this lifestyle, so I have to maintain it. I want my son to see, that he can't be, a lazy bum playing video games, which is where he's at right now, but we're going to get past that together.
Mine
But
too.
no, I want
Mine too.
like I want to see, I want him to see that I'm hardworking and stuff, but like I'm comfortable with it because I also know people look up to me too. And so like it gives me a certain stature of like, oh, she's always busy, or, like, oh, she's got a lot going on. Like, I can't wait to see what's in her future. So that's not a good thing, but I know like that's why I'm okay with it, the hyper independence. But then when I'm like waking up, only getting 3-4 hours of sleep, I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like exhaustion. Like even you guys know, even tonight is like my calendar looks crazy, so it's almost like exhaustion is fueling my motive, everything back to back in my life. So it's fueling my motivation to, um fueling my motivation to get up and go to the gym. I'm exhausted, but I got to go to the gym. I'm exhausted, but he has to be at school at 7:40. I'm exhausted, but I got to wake up. So, it's just a cycle. So I think it's like, how do we break this cycle? Because this is what we've been doing for our whole adult lives.
That's a good one, and you hit on the hyper independence. I think about it even from the standpoint of like parenting. I think that for me, when your parents supposed to be the one that have your back, and they kind of feel like that, you lose trust in people. I went through so many different. I moved around a lot, where people was like, "All right, you got to go." I lost trust in people. I'm like, I remember when I turned 13, I was like, oh, as soon as I can get a job, I know I'm gonna be okay. At 15, as soon as I turned 15, I got a job. When I turned 16, I bought my own car. So I was building that independence from a young age because I didn't have people at a young age that I could depend on. I remember when I had Zion, I don't know if you remember this, Neek. You was like, okay, I'm gonna get him every 6 months. And it wasn't because I was reaching out to say, hey, Nick, can you get him? Because I probably would have never. But I think that maybe you just seen something like, I'm going to say I'm going to get him because she's not going to ask me, So it's that. It's like, hey, let me put it all on my back because I can trust me. I know I'm going to get it done. I know that in my life, it was more people that failed me than that came to my rescue and helped me. I had a select few. So in that sense, I just like, okay, the life that I want to live, the life that I'm trying to go, I just have to do it all on my own. But that's a hindrance too, even in relationships, like the hyper independence, because you're not allowing that person to step up because like you blocking it because you feel like in reality you don't trust that person. And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with how you operate.
That's been such a theme like in my relationship. It's a little bit to do with them, but
A little bit.
But
Yeah, I get it.
But I will say, right, because it is again like you're in a different relationship, you're in a different environment, but you're still operating in the ways that you know to survive, right? So we're using our those maladaptive strategies, but it's like I got to be able like to trust you to take care of me. Like I know a lot of people talk about men being providers and submitting to men, but like, do you know how much trust that takes to know that you're going to pay these bills on time, to know that I'm not going to get evicted from my house, to know that you're going to take care of my son? That is a lot of power to give somebody. Not saying I don't want to. I'm just saying like to build that kind of relationship with someone, not even just romantic, but like a friendship or family members. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I agree. And I think that's work that we would have to do within ourselves, right? Like how do we release some of this independence so that people can help us? And I will say from a relationship standpoint, those are huge acts, right? Like to say, hey, if I lost everything today, can you take care of me? And it
I'm just gonna say because Neek is coming to Michigan in March and she barely wanted to say, Franny, can I stay at your house? Like this is the first time she's ever asked me in all the years of my friendship. I've had to force her over here. Like, get over here. She will not ask.
I'm
But
grown.
anyways, go ahead.
I'm grown because and same with relationship. Like I just don't like you. Like y'all have shared. Like I've just been one who like I've always had to do it myself. And it's like it's either I do it or don't get done, right? Or I don't like the bare minimum. And I think that's another thing too. Like when I know you can get here, but you want to stay here, like
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like that's my biggest thing. So it's like even if you can give me bare minimum, it's like what's next? Like you can do more. Like I need to be able to feel that you're not at like a status quo. Like you're willing to keep going above and beyond to be the best version of yourself. So, and I think that's why I was able to be the best version of myself professionally because it's just like I'm anchored in that because it's like at the end of the day, I'm gonna get it done. That's just who I
Yeah.
am. And I need someone to like match that energy, even if it's like friendships, right? We talked about friends in our last episode, right? Like we need people who have similarities who are matching those energies because that's how we grow. So like, yeah, Shane, like even with like, you know, I'll get Zion every 6 months, which I, I was gonna say I failed, but you also didn't ask. So there we go. That's my cop out.
I'm
But
talking about the first year. The first year
yeah,
you
but
did.
right, exactly. Because at the end of the day, you know, I was a mom. You know, I had John already. Like I knew how I was. Like, and I knew that I knew what your support system looked like, right? Like, and I knew that I was part of your support system. So like, I'm always going to be one who's going to be there to help you and be up and make sure I'm not a burden. Now, on the other hand, like Fran said, yeah, she has had to force me like every time to stay. Like, y'all have to. Y'all don't even know that I'm in Michigan. I'm like, all right, flight out.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
24 hours. She got me. But that's because, like, again,
As
it's
you
just
leaving, I'm about to go.
right, exactly. But that's just because, again, it comes from a place of just like, I got to take care of myself because no one else is going to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a burden. That's what it feels like. It's like, I never want to be a burden to others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it stems from. I just don't want to be a burden, but I'm not a burden.
yeah, because you've created those burdens. Like, damn, let me tell you you're a burden. Like, no, you can't. You can't come. It's too much. Let me do that. Don't just
I think
assume. But yeah,
that's healing. Like Meek said, we got to heal that part that is hurt by being a burden to somebody else and somebody else saying that, or somebody else neglecting and allowing somebody to show up. Because we write them off before they even had a chance to write
Mhm.
themselves off. We like, oh no, we got it. And it's opening up the door to just allow them to be. And if they
Mhm.
don't, now they showed you, right? And it's interesting because even with me helping with the baby, I seen it on the other end where my cousin, she wasn't gonna ask me to take the
Mhm.
baby. I suggested, and I seen that on the other part of pulling, like, you know what, let me help you in this. You got all of this going on. Let me help you in this. And she like, okay, no, so go ahead and take her. I'll drop her off. So
yeah,
it's interesting being on the other side of that too and seeing it from that standpoint. But I knew what that was like. And the other part of that is when somebody do something to you, they throw it back up in your face.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Oh, this is what I did. So now you really push back to you like,
Oh my
I don't
god.
trust people.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm. I feel like that's a whole nother episode, so I'm not even gonna comment on that part.
But I
Oh
feel
my
like it
god.
hit you. You want to say anything on it? I feel like it hit you. It's touching you.
Oh, I'm gonna just sip my wine
Okay,
and
it's a wine break.
Oh my goodness. But that, I mean, that is a whole nother episode because like I won't touch it either. But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Also, when we talk about like the distractions or why we're doing so much, and we talk about like how a lot of that does stem from like that core trauma. I think for me, when I think about like all the trauma, like the things that I at that point, because my healing journey been a while, and I'm really proud now where I am with everything. But for the longest, I just let that trauma just like build up. And I think that's why I had like so many jobs or I was in this project. And even when I think about like the plays and stuff like that I did, like I enjoy acting, but at that time it was a distract. Everything was just to get away and escape with the things that I don't want to deal with, right? Because it just didn't feel like a safe space to deal with those things. And I think once I finally said like this is just it's too much, right? It's too much to just like always try to make people happy. It's too much to, distract myself from like things that I need to like actually face. I think that's when it became a little bit easier for me not to have so many distractions because it's one of those things for me where it felt like, yes, work was a distraction, but when I didn't have work, I had bad habits. So it's just like, okay, if I get more jobs, then I won't have time for these bad habits. So therefore, I won't get myself in trouble at all. But it's like, again, I'm still exhausted, right? It's like it's traded one for another. So like I had to get to a point where it's just like, look, I'm not going to add any more work. I'm going to release myself from these bad habits and then see where it goes from there. And it's been a journey, but I think this has like been the best journey that I've ever been on. And like, I'm really glad that like I took the time to like actually just like, okay, I gotta like heal for real to a point where it's like I'm not using distractions, I'm not using outside influences, I'm not doing any of that. Like I gotta me and Nick gotta sit down and talk because like we not gonna be able to, we can't operate like this because we're breaking down, we're breaking down physically, we're breaking down mentally, we're not where we want to be spiritually. And it's because you keep doing this yo-yo, right? It's like one foot into the healing door, the other foot out the healing door. But it's like I had to pick a path. So I think about that when I think about distractions and where I am now professionally and how it's not so much as a distraction as it used to be for me. And I think the biggest thing is like I just was promoted. And for me, usually that would have been a thing of just like, okay, how do I get to the next promotion, right? How do I do the next thing? And I was just like, well, this is nice. This is where I'm going to stay right here. And I'm going to learn how to knit. So
you make my sweaters.
She bought me a needle and some yarn. And there we are.
But that makes me think too, then it's like, okay, like we are in the positions that we're in, right? We're all successful Black women. It's like, well, then that means that it worked, right? Like if we weren't hyper independent, where would we be if we weren't, you know what I mean? So maybe that's what's, how our brain is processing it. Like, no, keep doing it because that's why you're where you're at now. You know what I mean?
I agree to that. That's why my therapist is like, don't put no more projects. That's what she called it. Regardless of what it is, it's no more projects. And it's like, that was hard, so I had to talk to her before I jump into something like, is this a project? Because for one, I didn't even know if it was a project or not. So like, do you think this is a project? Anything that distracts you from that healing path is a project because you're using it as a distraction, right? So it's good to bounce those ideas off of her.
Was that your snap?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a snap moment. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
So now I'm also conscientious of the things that I'm bringing into my life. Hey, is this a distraction or is this an addition to what I'm trying to do? Is it helping me on my healing path or is it taking me away? So that's how I kind of look at things now.
That's a good idea because I don't slow down to be like, let's think about this. How is it going to benefit your life? What is it? I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it. Let me look at my calendar. So I think that's, I think that's a really good point, Shay. Like to just really just slow down, like calm down. You don't have to say yes to everything. Where is it put you? Do you have the time, like physically, mentally, emotionally? So I think that's a really good point.
And what does it take away? Because everything that you put on your plate, something else going to be taken off, right? So what are you willing to sacrifice on the things that you're trying to do? So one of the exercises that she told me to do is write down my goals. The top, if you look at your life as a pie chart, cut it up. What are the things and what are the goals in each section? And if you add something to it, what is going to be taken away to be able to achieve what you're adding to it, right? So that was a good exercise. It actually put things into perspective, of what is important. And I think I'm at this point now where, yes, there's some things in my career I still want to do. I don't think I hit the top yet. I do feel like I am successful, but it's still I'm still achieving. I'm never a complacent person. I never want to be like, okay, I'm here and I'm okay being here. I don't know what it's like. Maybe I have to be a CFO or something first, or I don't know. But I'm still going to continue to build that. But my personal life is in my healing journey is also a priority to me now.
I wonder if we'll ever reach that feeling though, right? Like that, okay, I'm satisfied. Because of course we don't want to be complacent, but like I wonder what like that looks like getting to that feeling. Because I'm sure even the richest people in the world, Elon Musk and all these other fools out here aren't like, all right, I'm so good, I'm happy. Like, we know that happiness isn't just material things. So it's like all that has to come together to feel satisfied and know that you lived out your, your God-given purpose. That's just like overwhelming to even think about.
Yeah, well, I think about this because I feel like what is the footprint that you're leaving behind besides the people that you have direct influence on? This podcast, this whole thing is to reach people that we would never meet, right?
Yeah.
Outside of this platform. So I think about that as my purpose is what imprint do I have on the world outside of my circle of influence? think
Come
you
on
like
and
it, bye.
promote.
I know. I was like, go ahead. Like, I'm sorry,
know?
I'm snapping again, but I can't help it. um, I like, and it's funny you said that, Frank, because I was thinking about what you just said in regards to, you know, will we ever be satisfied, right? You know, Shannon, when you talk about like your professional goals, you still have those. And like I said, I don't know. I think my year and a half of just like isolation and going through what I was